I want to walk you on how to make a dish that you can make on Sundays and eat for several days, and it becomes more tasty as it sits longer in the refrigerator. Okay, first you take about a pound or a pound and a half, somewhere in there, perhaps it's about a third, of stewing beef. It works a lot better if you have like ribeye and cut it up, but stewing beef will do just fine. The chunks of stewing beef that they sell are a little bit too big. I like them a little bit smaller than that, so I usually cut them in half. I know it's a lot of work, but it works a lot better. And I don't know if it cooks better or not, but sometimes you gotta cut them in thirds because they're big chunks. So you cut them all up and you put them in a skillet. Maybe a skillet. I'm gonna get a small skillet since I'm not gonna make that much. Okay. You put them in there. Don't turn the fire on yet. Okay. In addition to the 1 1/3 pounds of beef that I have 2 medium-sized potatoes, medium-sized type onion, maybe a little large, a can of petite diced tomatoes. I like the petite diced because they're smaller and easier to eat. And I usually put about half of a serrano pepper. It won't be hot. It'll just be a little tasty. You can add real tomatoes also, I mean, instead of canned. But if you cut, you're going to need about either 4 or 5 of the Roma tomatoes, or maybe a couple of large regular tomatoes to put in there. Okay. I diced the potatoes in I don't know, about 3/8 of an inch cubes. Doesn't have to be accurate, but just it's about a little bit smaller than the size of the beef chunks that are in the skillet. And what I usually do is just kind of fry the potatoes with the meat. Okay, in order to fry the meat and the potatoes, I usually use olive oil. Put a bit of olive oil in there just to make sure it doesn't get stuck to the pan. And I don't know, you don't have to use as much as I do, but in terms of spices, I have pepper, a little bit of cumin, not too much cumin because it overwhelms it, and some garlic. Try not to use garlic salt because we use garlic salt, it comes out too salty. I'd much rather just add the salt later on. Okay. Okay, once you set the meat and potatoes to fry here, maybe a little bit of more oil. I'm not sure. It doesn't want it to stick. I took all the fat off the meat. Not that there's much fat in there. As far as the cumin is concerned, you don't want to put too much cumin. You put a couple of shakes in there. You know, just and I think, well, this one doesn't come up that much. Okay, that's probably enough. A little bit of garlic. Okay. I like garlic, so the more garlic it is, the better it is for me. And some pepper. Use pepper if you like. Now, if you put too much pepper, it'll come out hot, obviously. Okay. How's that? Not bad, huh? Now, as far as the onion is concerned, what you want to do is probably use about half an onion first. For this amount, probably half an onion is more than enough. You can put the whole onion in, but I don't think it's needed. Okay, but you don't put the onion until later because it'll burn. I'll show you. Okay, you need to stir the beef and potatoes so they don't burn from one side and they cook evenly. They look good already. Okay. On the onion, like I said, you cut it in little pieces. On the serrano pepper, the best thing to do, I found, is to cut it in 4 pieces like this and just cut it into little chunks. about half of it. It'll give it a good taste. Okay, I use everything, ribs and seeds and everything in it. Okay, you gotta keep stirring the beef and potatoes, otherwise they'll burn. But they'll get all brown. Pretty good. Once they're about at a stage where you think they're cooked, you put in the rest of the ingredients. Put in the tomatoes and the onions and the hot peppers. And you put a can of tomato in there. Like that. You also get a couple of cans of this water. Let's see. Put the water in there. I would say a couple of cans. I have a 10-inch skillet. So a couple of cans is more than enough. Halfway through, when it cooks a little bit and the water evaporates a little bit, you might want to put more water in it, depending on whether it's cooked enough or not for you. But as it is right now, you want to bring it to a boil first. Okay, and we'll wait for a little while until it boils. Okay, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to get to a boiling point. Now it's cooking little by little. What I usually do at this time is that I reduce the flame a little bit to low to medium low. Well, not low, a medium flame, and just continue to let it cook for another 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe about half an hour. It'll reduce the amount of water that's in it, and then what I usually do is I add another glass of water, another 8 ounces or so, to it, and then I'll cover it up and let it simmer for another half an hour or so. And by that time everything's cooked and mixed and all the flavors are there. Usually at this time I add salt. Try not to put too much salt in there. I usually taste it a couple of times halfway through to see how it is when it comes to salt. But you put salt to your taste. You can just take some out. It needs a little bit of salt. It's not thoroughly cooked yet, but it'll get there. Okay. You should come and stir the stew here, maybe every 5 or 10 minutes. It gets reduced very slowly, and your house will be very humid unless you have a fan going. But you can see it's coming cooked. The name of this dish is just called carne guisada, or cooked beef, I guess, or a beef dish. Beef dish. Okay, I let it go a little bit too much, but it's been reduced quite a bit. I usually put a glass of water or so in there to let it cook for a little longer. Usually it's already cooked, it's technically cooked, and you can actually eat it at any time, but I like my meat to be very, very well cooked, especially the stewing beef. It's not as tender as a ribeye, for example, but it's almost there. I'll let it simmer for another 10-15 minutes, and it should be done. By this time I want to cover it so that it's sort of simmering at a slightly lower temperature, or lower flame, I should say. Okay, after about a half hour of simmering, the beef should be done. It's a real tasty stew. Make sure nothing is stuck at the bottom. And voila! It's got a very spicy flavor, and can be eaten with refried beans and rice.